So today we're going to tackle a huge story. It's about a monumental challenge in Southern Punjab and the incredible, century-old institution that was built to solve it. This is the story of MEPCO. Let's get right into it.
Okay, let's just start with a question, and it's a really big one. How in the world do you get reliable electricity to millions and millions of people spread out across thousands of square kilometers? I mean, think about it. It is a puzzle on an absolutely immense scale.
First off, let's just try to wrap our heads around that number. 34 million people. To give you some perspective, that is more than the entire population of Australia. We're talking about an entire nation's worth of people, all depending on one single service to work. And look, this massive population isn't all packed into one big city. No way. They're spread across 13 different administrative districts. So we're talking about a huge geographical area from buzzing industrial centers all the way out to super remote rural villages.
So who on earth takes on a job this big? Well, it's time to meet the hero of our story, the Multan Electric Power Company, or as most people know it, MEPCO. And get this, it's the largest power distribution company in all of Pakistan when you measure by the area it covers.
So what is MEPCO officially? Well, it's a public utility, which means it's owned by the government. It's what's called a DISCO. That's just short for distribution company. And its one job, its whole reason for being, is to get electricity from the main grid to the homes and businesses in this gigantic region. But, an organization this huge doesn't just pop up out of nowhere. MEPCO's story actually goes back a full 100 years. It's been a journey of constant change and, just adapting to the times.
And this timeline just shows you that evolution perfectly. It all started way back in 1922 during the British India era. Then, fast forward to 1972, it's nationalized, brought under the government's control. By 1998, it gets a total makeover and is reborn as the modern company we know today. And now it's jumping into the future with digital tools and smart grid tech, which is basically building a smarter, more efficient grid that can react to problems in real time. Its story really does mirror the story of Pakistan itself.
Okay, so that's the history. But how does this massive machine actually work day to day? Let's take a peek inside and see how it's all put together to keep the lights on for those 34 million people.
Well, it turns out that power, both electrical and organizational, it flows from the top down. You've got a board of directors at the top setting the big picture. Their vision gets passed to the CEO, who then works with general managers to handle operations, and then that responsibility just keeps trickling down through engineers and all the way to the subdivisional officers who are actually on the ground managing things in your local area.
And what's driving all these people? Well, it really comes down to these four main goals. 1. Make sure the energy is reliable. 2. Keep the customers happy. 3, and this is a huge one, cut down on power losses. See, in a system this big, you can lose a ton of electricity from old equipment or even theft, so saving every bit of power is crucial. And 4, think about the future and be more sustainable. It's a constant, massive balancing act.
All right, now for the really cool part. Let's look at how this 100-year-old company is going totally digital. They're basically putting the power to manage your energy right into the palm of your hand. Just take a look at their official mobile app. One of the best features is the bill estimator. It lets you see what your bill is probably going to be based on what you're using. So no more guesswork, no more surprise bills at the end of the month. You're in control.
And then there's this, the power complaint feature. Think about it. Instead of trying to find a number and waiting on hold forever, if the power goes out, you just open the app, log the issue, and boom, it's a direct line to getting things fixed faster.
And maybe the most powerful tool of all is smart monitoring. This lets you actually see your own energy habits. You can figure out when you're using the most electricity and find ways to cut back. And that's not just good for your wallet, it's good for the planet too.
So, we've talked about the incredible scale, the long history, the cool new tech. But let's just zoom back out for a second and ask the most important question. What's the real impact of all this work? What does it truly mean to enlighten lives?
Their official motto is service to mankind. I mean, that's a pretty bold statement for an electric company, right? But when you really look at what MEPCO does, you start to see how that motto really connects to everything. Because here's the thing. This is about so much more than just keeping the lights on in your house. This is about powering the tube wells that water the farms, which are the backbone of the whole region's economy. It's about fueling the giant factories that make textiles and fertilizers and create thousands of jobs. It's about bringing light to a remote village for the very first time. And it's about allowing cities to grow and modernize. Electricity is the engine that makes it all possible.
So when you think about it, going from a small colonial-era company to a modern utility that serves a population the size of a whole country, MEPCO's journey has been nothing short of incredible. And it leaves us with one final big question. As they face totally new challenges, like climate change and a constantly growing demand for more power, how will this institution and all the smart tech it's starting to use evolve to power the next 100 years?